Well, good morning, everybody. At least it's morning for me. Coming to you from this beautiful spot next to the river because I actually took this last week off from boat work and RV work and did a little project for my mom, which is actually taken most of the week, but I'll show it to you. It's something she's been wanting for a long time, and just got down to some good hard work and made it happen. So yeah, my mom, this is actually on my mom's property. Her property extends across the river, but there's quite a incline or hill to get, to get up to ground level. So she's never really been able to come down here because way up there is the ground level, and there's quite the precipice here. So my job was to design and build a way to get down to the river. It's pretty easy and comfortable for anybody. So this is what I've come up with. It's been quite a project getting all the way out of the top. So yeah, so I'll show you just briefly what I did. It's not just interesting, nothing. It's not really one of my normal things, but it's nice to get down to doing something a little different. And I've never really built any kind of deck or stairs before, so I think I did pretty good considering. So yeah, this is the deal. So few stairs here that are down into the potential high water level, but feel like it's up against the hillside far enough that it's pressure treated wood. I mean, I don't think that the high water, it doesn't like get super swift right here up against the shore, so this stuff may not last as long, but this stairs could be unscrewed and new ones screwed right on. So so not worried about that. High water mark is way up here, but everything else is more substantial and should be pretty much out of the high water mark anyway. So I did a nice platform here, which was pretty hard to cling to the hillside. Did a nice kind of steep flight of steps right here, but pretty sturdy, to another little platform. Did some nice deep anchoring right here to make sure this stuff doesn't move. And then one more little flight of steps up to ground level. So it's really up here a beautiful spot too, but nice to be able to get down to the river. So, and even a little handrail. So yeah, kind of pretty happy with my little job here, and now it's time to get back to boat work and RV work.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt.
Hey everybody, I'm back here working behind the RV, and thought I would take this opportunity to have a couple of little lessons and or debates about a mechanical type stuff. So if you're into RVing at all, then maybe you'll be interested in this. One of the things I want to talk about are hatches. And on all the new motorhomes and fifth wheels and just about everything, the trend is to go to hatches that swing like a door from the side. And wanted to point out that one of the interesting things about these hatches is it allows, like the hatch, if I walk around the RV, there's no hatches like blocking my path. I can walk all the way around the RV because these open up above your head. Now, I do have to step about 1.5 feet away from the RV to not hit my head on them, but I can walk completely around. I don't have anything in my way because I'm actually up against some trees and stuff right here. So it's kind of a thin area. And the other thing is interesting is if you have slide outs on your RV, if you have a lot of slide outs, well then your hatches will open like this one, which is right to the top of the slide out. So in reality, now nothing is blocked to get into this hatch. That wouldn't, like if you had one swinging out like on a hinge, you'd be actually not able to walk around that half, or walk by that section or get through that section. So I think it's kind of, I know everyone's going to these hatches that swing out like a door, but there's something to say for the ones that swing up straight up in the air, because these are all on struts, and they just stay up. But now the only thing real annoying is when the slide's closed, that hatch is still like that, and then it's a real pain to get in the compartment there. So I don't know. I think I'd go either way, but certainly don't think it's necessarily a bad way to do it like this. So switching subjects, plumbing. I've definitely decided after years of dealing with boats and RVs and everything else that if you're going to have any kind of manifold like this one, that you mount it on, I think the best design is to mount it on some sort of a hinge, so that you could open it, because this one is screwed on with like 8 or 10 or 12 screws, I don't even know, and it is a huge pain to get this off and look behind it. But over the life of the thing, you're going to need to get behind it a lot. And what happened with this one is, for years there was leaks behind this panel with different joints and things, and they just dripped and rusted and got like ignored. And so when I got a hold of this RV, I redid everything behind here. Not everything, but I redid a lot of the things behind here, rebuilt this thing to some degree. And it's nice to see, having taken it apart, that it is dry as a bone. Nothing here has leaked since I did it. So that's brilliant. But the reason I have it off is because I did observe water dripping from in here somewhere, dripping down through. I could see it. And so I could see that when I got in here that it's wet. Here's where the pump is. And the good thing is that everything that I've done, the pump I put in, all the pipes I redid, all the connections I made, everything is dry as a bone. So I'm feeling good about the work I did. Nothing I did is leaking. And there's been no animals or rats or anything in here chewing anything new, because that's happened before. But I've done good at keeping anything out of here. But where's the water coming from? So I've got paper towels in here, because what I find is when the leak starts, I mean, the paper towels will get instantly wet. So right now nothing's leaking, but obviously at some point something has been leaking, and so I need to like keep an eye on it. So my best guess right now with this water situation is that maybe, so I had the gray water tank closed. Maybe I completely filled the gray water tank without realizing it, and like it overflowed through the vent or something like that. That would be the nicest thing to happen, because it just means I overflowed the tank. It's not a big deal. But I am going to run the shower and everything in there. I'm going to make sure, like, water's got to be coming from somewhere, and it's not at all obvious. It's dry in here now. But when I walked out here, it was dripping. And I had just recently taken a shower, and the gray water tank was totally full. So that's kind of why I am thinking that. But bring it back to just like the lesson. Like, if anyone's doing or redoing any kind of panel, I think on any vehicle at all, electrical or plumbing or what have you, hinging it is brilliant if you can design it that way, because that way you can always open these things up and take a look at how everything's doing behind the scenes, and quickly diagnose if something's formed a leak, or is even maybe about to form a leak, like getting chewed on by a rat, or wearing down because it's rubbing against something. Being able to open this up and have a look is, I think, brilliant. Still moisture in here, and kind of nothing significant, but constant moisture. Finally, I've sorted out what it is, and it's actually coming right from the internals of the pump. And it happens only when you're hooked to outside water source, because you got back pressure coming in with the water, hooked up from the shore. So when I was traveling, I wasn't noticing it as much. Or I don't know if it was leaking at all then, maybe just so little I couldn't tell. But anyway, yeah, so sorted that out. And I actually do, I think I know what actually caused it, because over the winter, when this RV was parked in Georgia, I had that incredible freeze, and the heat wasn't on at that time to the RV. So everything got froze up pretty good, and it wasn't winterized, and it was actually supposed to be plugged in with the electric heat with like the furnace set, but it had gotten unplugged, and so then the heat wasn't running at all, and it had actually run completely out of propane. The gas heat wasn't running either, so eventually it did freeze up. I think that the pump actually had water freeze in it and probably caused some internal damage. So because I just put this pump on here not too long ago, I don't think it just failed that quickly. As it happens, I just happened to have a pump here that I had ordered, and I actually had ordered it for the boat Resurrection. But the nice thing is these pumps. Now, I don't know, for the RV I'd probably want to, I think maybe ideally I'd go with a 55. This is a 35 as far as gallons per minute. These Seaflow pumps have done a great job for me, and these are all the same pumps I was using on Momentum, the catamaran, and they're not too expensive. They're easy to come by. You can Amazon them and have them in like 2 days. So yeah, they're great little pumps, but they make different quality, levels of them as far as how industrial strength they are, how much gallons per minute they have and all that, and this is kind of a basic one. So I'm kind of debating if I'd put that on the RV, because just as far as like the water pressure and stuff, I'm going to think about that for a few minutes. But if I needed something quick, I have one. That's kind of nice because you could always put it on there. It wouldn't hurt anything. Incidentally, I just ordered a new toilet for the RV, and I realized that it's the exact same brand as the pumps that I like. And I'll show you I didn't film the install on this. This is literally 2 bolts. So I'll go ahead and show you. But this Seaflow toilet is brilliant compared to the old one. And the old one was a lot more expensive. I don't even remember what brand it is. Thetford, I believe. It's a Thetford. You know, nice porcelain Thetford. But the Seaflow toilet is better in every way. And I'll show you what I mean. Just as far as functionality. One, this thing didn't flush very good. But also, if you look at like the seat it came with, it's got all these like ridges in it. It's freaking impossible to clean, and you can't get under where the seat attaches to clean down in there worth anything. So it didn't seal very good, didn't flush very good, and the dang thing broke after 1 year. So Thetford gets thumbs down in every way. The Seaflow toilet is brilliant. I am going to just install my little Seaflow pump because I don't want this thing leaking in here anymore, and that'll solve my leaking problem. I don't have to have the water shut off. So then I'll give it a run and see how the pressure is, and if I like it, just leave it in here, I think. If not, I can order a 55, which is a 55 PSI pump, and have more water pressure, and total flow. You can upgrade on that, but I don't know if this RV really needs that. If there were like 2 bathrooms or something, maybe, but probably not. If you have never changed a pump on a water pump for an RV or whatever, don't get intimidated by it. I mean, it's super simple. I've changed so many freaking pumps lately, being on a boat with 18 pumps. But really, it's just a matter of 2 electrical lines, right? Positive and negative, right there. Positive, negative. Yeah, 2 electrical lines, and water in, water out. And so yeah, it's not, I'll just cut those lines and we'll strip them and wire them back together. But yeah, it's that easy. Nice thing is threads should be correct for this RV already. Just unscrew both sides here and screw the new pump in. Super easy. You know, I don't believe that these type of connections need Teflon tape, and I realize I do not have any Teflon tape. All my plumbing supplies I left on the boat when I left it. So I guess this is actually a good test of that theory, because if it leaks, I'll just get some Teflon tape and fix it. But I'm going to try that out. So I got my strainer screwed onto the intake side. Another reason to panel like this, or this pump, should be behind a hatch you can access easier, because what if you need to check the filter and get the crap, what if you have crap in there, you need to clean the filter. So, you know, it's... I noticed looking at the old pump that it's the exact same rating as the new one I'm putting in there, so I'm just going to call this a permanent install and call it good, because the same rating has been working great. I've had no complaints with water pressure or water flow, so yeah, I'll be happy with this one, I think. Okay, so I've given a little time. I've been using the water inside and everything's drying up nicely, so I'm confident there's no leaks there. So I'm going to screw this pump down to the board here and Okay, that's done. Easy peasy. So nothing leaking, pump wired up. I'm going to find one more screw. I misplaced a screw when I took it out, and I'm going to put a screw or two back here in the back. A little harder to get to, but just make sure that guy's good and secure. But I can test him out right now. It should work. I mean, no reason to believe he's going to work fine, but we'll still try him out. So I'm going to shut shore water off from shore power, or from shore water. I'll go turn the pump on, run it real quick, make sure she works. So I'm satisfied that nothing's leaking now. I got the new pump in there, it works fine. I did tighten up the inlet line just a little bit more because I could detect a little bit of what sounded like air leaking into it. I didn't put it on that tight initially, but yeah, that's the only change I made there. So now screw this panel back on. I upgraded to some new stainless steel screws last time I put it on there, and honestly I don't put all of them in this because it just seems like eventually you got to take the dang thing out again, and it's a little bit rusty because it's a metal panel, but you know, it's nothing structural, and as long as it stays in place it works fine, so I don't get stressed out about that too much. One of these days this could be probably redone or sanded down and painted or something, like, you know, it could make it look nicer, but I'm not stressed about it. Just going to put it back on and clean this up, and away we go.